It couldn't be a bigger year for RPGs and strategy games. Long-awaited sequels, indie darlings, and brand new titles from acclaimed developers are set to kick off within the next 12 months. It'll also be an incredibly diverse year with plenty of current-gen juggernauts, portable delights, and PC powerhouses. Regardless of how you game, there's more than enough within these two genres to sink a frightening amount of hours into. If all goes well, 2015 could be fondly remembered for decades to come. While Dark Souls 2 certainly satiated our desire for more Souls, Bloodborne feels even more momentous since it marks the return of Hidetaka Miyazaki in the director's seat. Set to take the Souls template and spin it in a new direction, Bloodborne features a much faster pace and a greater emphasis on offense. A new risk-reward system allows players to regain health by counterattacking within a small time frame. Above all, though, its Victorian style is perfectly haunting and grotesque. Developed by Intelligent Systems, best known for Fire Emblem and Advance Wars, codenamed Steam takes a battle system that's similar to Valkyria Chronicles and throws in a bizarre premise. Set in a steampunk version of London, an elite force founded by Abraham Lincoln is tasked with defending the planet from extraterrestrial invaders. As an added bonus, the game is compatible with Fire Emblem amiibo figures, letting players bring Marth, Ike, Lucina, and Robin to the battlefield. This roguelike features a gothic comic book look combined with a turn-based combat system. Players set forth with a four-person party into a grim fortress where the slightest mistake could mean death. While exploring, the light of your torch becomes dimmer and the dungeon becomes more challenging. Players have to set up camp where they can distribute rations, protect the camp from ambushes, and reduce the stress levels of characters. The first in the series to debut on PS4, Disgaea 5 promises several huge additions. The number of displayable characters is jumped from 10 to 100. A revenge system kicks in when party members die, and certain characters can now team up to perform powerful fusion skills. New classes like Dark Knights, Maids, and Fairies also add further complexity. Etrian Mystery Dungeon fuses Spike Chunsoft's roguelike games with the Etrian Odyssey dungeon crawler series. While the game has an isometric view as opposed to the traditional first-person Etrian Odyssey style, it still carries plenty of familiar traits. Your group travels in formation, so choosing who to put where is of the utmost importance. Additionally, the game employs favorite classes such as the Lance-Connect, Rune Master, Protector, and Medic. Fable Legends takes a different direction, centered around 4 heroes and 1 villain, all controlled by real players online. The heroes are made up of several characters such as Sterling, a Prince Charming that wields a rapier, and Igna, who wears heavy armor and fights with a longsword. The villain can control where enemies spawn, how aggressive they are, and lay traps that divide heroes and prevent them from helping each other. What was once Final Fantasy Versus 13 now looks to be one of the most ambitious entries in the series. Unlike the majority of Final Fantasy titles, battles happen instantly in 15 and are seamlessly integrated into the environment. Instead of battle menus, commands are mapped directly to certain buttons. The story focuses on a close group of friends as they fight to free their city from invaders, taking an epic road trip in their black convertible. Although Type 0 originally debuted on PSP in Japan, it's finally making its way to Western shores on consoles. The plot centers around Class 0, a group of military students called into action when a massive war breaks out. The game uses a real-time action-based battle system reminiscent of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Players can control 3 party members at a time, swapping from the larger group and combining their abilities and powerful Trinity attacks. Currently in early access, Galactic Civilizations 3 tasks players with building an empire to dominate the galaxy, starting with just a single planet. The biggest additions are ideologies, which come in the form of benevolence, pragmatism, and malevolence. These ideologies dramatically change the course of your empire, but you're never confined to just one. Throughout the game, you'll earn individual points that will allow you to invest in various ideologies as you see fit. Might and Magic Hero 7 takes place more than 3 centuries after the previous game in the world of Ashen. Players will be able to command 6 factions: Haven, Academy, Stronghold, Necropolis, Sylvan, and Dungeon. Each faction features 3 classes that are might-oriented and 3 that are magic-oriented. Spells are no longer earned by spending points, but are instead acquired through special shrines. most significant shift in Monster Hunter 4 is its emphasis on mobility. For the first time, players can climb onto monsters and attack them, doing severe damage. The monsters are more intelligent as well, often trying to use the environment to their advantage. The new Insect Glaive dishes out quick attacks and allows the hunter to pole vault, while Charge Blades have two modes, Sword Mode and Axe Mode, that can be switched between at any time, offering a tremendous amount of versatility. Little is known about Persona 5, but that hasn't kept it from being one of the most anticipated RPGs in recent memory. One of the central themes of Persona 5 is freedom and what people will go through to obtain it. And the team is working to ensure that this theme is reflected in the design of the characters and environments. The dominance of technology and humanity's reliance on it is also expected to be an important issue within the game. Pillars of Eternity harkens back to beloved RPG classics like Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale, featuring party-based, real-time tactical gameplay. Your party can have up to 5 companions, and the main character is highly customizable. With industry veterans such as Chris Avallone, Tim Cain, Adam Brennick, and Josh Sawyer involved in the game's production, we're confident it'll capture that classic feel. Tales of Zestiria is trying to take the series back to the roots established in Tales of Phantasia, focusing on the character's passion and drive. The game is a completely revamped battle system. Unlike other Tales games, battles happen in the same space as exploration, and fights can be affected by the surrounding topography. Tides of Numenera is a spiritual successor to Planescape Torment, one of the most revered role-playing games of all time. Interactions between the world and characters are emphasized over combat and acquiring loot. The familiar dialogue tree system will make a return, but the game will utilize new combat mechanics that will supposedly complement the story. According to CD Projekt Red, The Witcher 3 will be 30 times larger than previous Witcher games, and will offer more than 100 hours of gameplay. Choice will also be more important than ever, and seemingly every decision has a tangible impact on the game's world. New mechanics like horseback combat, sailing, and swimming underwater look to provide more gameplay diversity than past games. For the first time, Ciri will be a playable character, tying the narrative closer to the books than ever before. Taking place in an enormous open world, players can traverse the various landscapes of Xenoblade Chronicles X on foot or by piloting giant mechs known as dolls. These dolls have the ability to fly, can traverse water, and also transform into numerous vehicles. X will utilize a similar battle system to the previous Xenoblade and features a quest log with notable improvements. The main character is fully customizable, and there are multiple character classes to choose from. That wraps up this year's Ultimate Game Preview. Catch up on all 5 episodes for overviews of dozens of games currently planned to release in the next 12 months. Later tonight, we'll reveal which 10 games the GT staff is most excited for, and don't forget to click the link below to vote for your favorites, as the polls for our community countdown close first thing Monday, January 26th.